Well, hello everybody. This is Daniel with Daniel's Bullion Coins. We're back again this week. I've got my sweet wife here dressed in her Christmas outfit.
Yay.
Wish you could see her. We're going to get her on this side of the camera real soon. Y'all hang on for that. We get a lot of requests for that, and we're looking forward to it soon. Well, let's go ahead and hit us with the first question.
Okay, Darl. First, we do want to say how much we appreciate our new subscribers. They've been asking questions, making comments, and that just is such a blessing. They even
We
come in
appreciate
here.
that a lot. We really
The
do.
ones
We're
that come
thankful
in
for
here, too,
everyone.
and tell us that they've seen it, which it brings me to this. One of the most, I guess, common things I hear people say that have seen ours come in and say, "Tell me about triple digit silver."
Okay,
They
so
always
that's the
come
big
in and talk
takeaway, hasn't it? That
Yeah, it
people come
is.
in, they're new, they just found us, they've caught our video on YouTube, and they
Yeah.
say, triple digit silver, you don't really believe triple digit silver, do you? And even at the farm, I went out to pick up hay, and the farmer said, you don't really believe in triple digit silver? And I said, yes, but you have to understand that bale of hay that's now $35 or $40 is going to be $150, $175 for that bale of hay. It's not that you're going to have 150 triple digit silver and you're going to be able to go out and buy 6 or 8 meals. You're going to be able to still buy 2 meals, same as you can now. $40 will buy you 2 small meals at McDonald's, I guess. But if you go to McDonald's and silver is triple digits, it's 150 or whatever, well then 2 meals will cost you 150. So they stay even. Food stays even with, now silver may far exceed and the variables may change, but in the general rule of thumb, they stay even.
Yes, it makes you
So
wonder
yes.
what will be happening for silver to go up.
Yes,
like that.
yes. Well, these
So-
things are happening right
But
now.
we say we want silver to go higher, but do we really? Because of the instability
Yes.
everywhere that will cause
Yes.
that.
Yes, instability is what will be happening when silver hits triple digits. And it'll be hard to even find that bale of hay. It'll be hard to even find that food when you start seeing $200, $300 silver. That means you've got a catastrophic problem in the economy.
We won't
And
be able to bale the hay. We won't have the gas.
right,
to-
the gas won't be available. You go into all
tractor.
these problems. You go back and you
Yeah.
look at things like when we had the inflation crisis in the 70s, the economic crisis in the 70s. There was no gas. You could only get gas on odd and even days, and there wasn't food on the shelves at the grocery store. These type of things. Even during the Great Depression, there was that economic problem there. The difference
true.
now that's different between the Great Depression and the economic collapse, inflationary collapse of the 70s is we have a much bigger problem. It's almost a threefold problem now.
Right.
It's economic, it's currency, and it's human values have really changed. And when I say human values, I'm talking about what it takes to produce a day's worth of food. We just on our farm
ethic.
processed 11 pigs this week, and that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And for the realization, you realize how far we've come from the family farm, how far we've come from our currency being backed by gold or silver and being worth what it is representing on that piece of paper, and our economy as far as the Dow and the market and all of that. So all three of those are in big trouble this time, unlike any other time in history, and it's globally connected, not just the U.S. So other countries can't pull us out. There are a lot of variables. When you put them all together, this is going to be a unique crash uncompared to anything else that's ever happened.
Yeah. So how do so that was my question. How do
Really
we
good
compare
one.
to the Great Depression to now? And you just kind of answered that.
Sorry, I kind of got ahead. I rolled it all into one big glob of
That's okay.
stuff.
So, okay, I guess in my next question then I have written down was the falling knife expression.
Yes, the
People
falling
say
knife
they're gonna
expression.
Come in
Yes.
and, oh, I'm gonna wait for it,
To dip. I'm going to buy the
to
dip.
dip, and we really don't.
Oh, it's
see
going
it.
lower. I'm going,
Dip.
yeah. And I think of it a lot of time as like a trolley car going down the streets of San Francisco, let's say. And maybe I'm the driver because I've got this a small local coin shop. And I see people run from the curb, jump up on the step of the trolley and say, what's the price of silver doing? What's the economy doing? Well, if it collapses, I'll come back and see you. I'll buy it then. Well, you're not going to have that option. When the COMEX is caught with their shorts and they start having to unload their
Explain
shorts.
that.
Well, they're
sounds
all.
funny. We
It
say
does
caught
sound
with their
funny.
shorts.
Caught with their shorts down. Yes, it sounds funny, but it's a literal expression that's really true.
Yeah.
because they control the way they manipulate the price of silver down is by buying a lot of shorts and betting on the shorts.
Okay, the bet.
They're
That's
betting.
What normal people like me can understand.
Yes, they're placing a bet that
Yeah.
it's going to go lower.
Right.
And then they secretly, in the low volume at night, they manipulate the price down. And in the morning, they cash in that they've got this lower price. Well,
Right.
it goes up and they're not able to drive it down. And it's
Right.
costing them more and more
And they
money.
try. You see how they
Yes.
hit it every night. A lot of
You can
times.
look at it right
And they're unsuccessful.
right there at the
keeps
thin
going
hour
back.
of trading. It's not that the market is closed, it's just the market is extremely thinly traded.
Yeah.
And they can look in the computer
Yeah.
and they can see how many people have stop orders in and at what level. So they'll hammer the price down and pick up those stops, and it makes it accelerate even more, and you'll see 3 equal
Right,
drops
you do.
at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And they know they're catching other people's sell orders.
Right.
Because people say, oh, stop my losses at this
When
point.
I'm asleep,
Right.
it's down, let it
I'll
go
get
on,
out
sell,
rather
right.
than lose. And so what they have to do is they have to purchase shorts to do that. Well, when the market starts climbing, the silver price is climbing and climbing, they're not able to get out
Right.
because they have to sell those when the price drops. Well, it did not drop enough. And I've got that on my little chart here. We'll go over that in a minute.
Okay.
But it didn't drop enough for them to get out. So they're still trying to look for that opportunity to get out. And I don't think that they're going to get it this time, which means as time goes along and those shorts have a contract and the contract expires, they have to pay the person that they made the bet with because they've lost the bet, that it didn't go down
It
low
didn't go
enough.
down,
So they have to pay because they lost. Well, they have to go into the market and buy actual silver. They cannot just use paper. So if they go into the market and they buy the actual silver to pay the bet that they lost, that drives the price even higher.
Right.
So they're caught with their shorts down. The person who won the bet doesn't want the paper. They say, give me the actual silver.
Right.
Okay? And so they've got to go in and purchase it at the higher price, which means they're losing big time. And then they've got to pay it to that person. So when the market catches them with their shorts down, they're going to be hurting because they're going to have to go and buy it at a much higher price, which is going to then push the price even exponentially higher. But you have to let the contract expire. So how long are these contracts? I don't know, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. As they start to expire, they have to be bought, go into the market and be purchased.
So when you say falling knife, that's when people...
Okay. The falling knife is back to the trolley car situation where people come and ask me, okay, they think that they're going to be able to, when it collapses, they see the collapse, they're going to be able to run in here and buy up a bunch of silver and they'll be okay because they know me and they know where I'm at and they've got their finger on the pulse of me. Well, that's not true. Because if my guy closes the door, closes the window to buy from him, because the COMEX is closed and said they don't have any, well, I'm closed. Because if I can't replace it, if I don't know what the price is to replace it, the markets are closed, I can't get a true price on purchase, then I'm not going to be able to sell it because I can't replace the inventory. So these people that think they're going to catch a falling knife,
That would really hurt.
that would really hurt because it's going to hurt. Because you can pay. You can pay a whole lot more. We'll sell it. There'll always be a price we sell it at, but we're going to cover ourselves.
Right.
And you may find that that's sharp.
Right, exactly.
Good question.
Good way to put it.
Hope everybody got that.
Yeah.
If not, you can put it in the comments and I'll clarify it for you.
That's really good. Okay, then I was going to ask you too about that. We just passed 36 trillion in debt.
Isn't that amazing? So the federal debt just passed 36 trillion. And people ask me, don't you think that things will level off now that Trump's in office and it's not so bad? Things are getting exponentially worse. The federal debt is climbing faster. It used to be that we were adding $1 trillion every 100 days. It was just a few months ago. It was 100 trillion. It was $1 trillion every 100 days. Now it's $1 trillion every 90 days. So things are exponentially. Our trade deficit is climbing. Look at personal credit card. It was a big deal when it broke 1 trillion. Well, now it's about to break 1.4 trillion. So these car loans, the defaults on car loans are exponentially climbing. And the reason is interest rates. Remember before we were talking about the bowling ball and the debt. The debt is climbing. In other words, in order to service your credit card and service these loans that are based on the interest rate, it's getting higher and higher. It's up almost 1% just in the last few months, just last 2 months, I would say. So add 1% across the board to all loans,
Yeah.
and you're seeing the cost of
Wow.
your debt going higher. And people are already, that have a credit card that's $1.4 trillion, they can't make the payments.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is things are exponentially increasing the difficulty, whether you look at the debt, 36 trillion, where you look at 1 trillion 90 days now, whether you look at credit card debt, loan defaults, all of these things are increasingly pointing. Look at the price of food. Walmart came out again and said, prepare yourself for the next price increase. It's going to be huge, they
I
said.
think they're going to wait till after Christmas.
I think that once they've put out the word that they're increasing, they're going to be increasing. You know, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
I haven't. Well, we were going to talk about that. I was going to ask you about the oats, the price of the
Yes,
oats. We talked about that.
that's
how-
kind of, a real fun thing. I'm just going to touch on it. Maybe we'll go into it more on the next video.
Yeah.
We were talking about all natural
Yeah.
and how a bag of oats is $150, you
Yeah,
know,
the
for an
organic kind.
organic, all natural oats, $150 now.
Yeah.
But you can go buy oats, you know, that have been processed and GMO and all that, a third of the price.
Now, this is not talking about oatmeal. These are the actual oat berries. we're
Yes,
talking about.
oat
Yeah,
berries that you can plant
grind,
and
or
regrow.
you grind in to make
It's a
bread.
living seed. It's
it
a living
is.
seed. It hasn't been killed or destroyed or
Right.
modified or whatever. It actually is a living seed, and it's totally organically grown. And
Yeah.
you can reproduce that, or you can feed it to your animals and get it
Yeah.
all natural. So you're talking about triple the cost. That's another variable that's added into the small family farm that isn't even in existence now. And if you have to go back to that, you're triple the cost right there. Just to go back to all natural organic farming, triple the cost of food, triple the cost of everything, just on that one scenario. Never mind adding in that the dollar is collapsing, that the economy, the other one I mentioned earlier, the three that I mentioned earlier, add all three of those economic situations, the morals, all three of those, all four of those together, and you've got a real situation. It's fertilizer is really how I talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Yeah,
the
we talked
fertilizer,
about that before.
the dollar,
Yeah.
the economy, and the morals are
Yeah.
totally different than it was in the Great Depression and in the hyperinflation that we had in the 70s.
Yes, because I just saw an article this week about how, and we've talked about this, how much there is a presence of petroleum in our food, in our
Oh, yes.
bioengineered, in our modified foods, the non-organic.
That's
or
so good
just
you mentioned
in
that.
Processed foods is
That's really good.
petroleum.
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that. I used to do a lot of fishing and all that, and I used to have these minnow traps, and I would put a piece of bread that came from the store in there and throw it in the water, and oil.
Oh,
Petroleum oil would rise up out of that piece of bread. Now, Ingrid would make a lot of fresh homemade bread, and I would put that in the trap and throw it in the water, and there was no oils or petroleum floating to the top. But the fish didn't like it as much. They preferred that petroleum. It just attracted them. I don't know why, but they were attracted to the non-organic bread more so than the whole bread. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a
I
fishing.
don't know. I know that not maybe in bread, but I know in other foods they put in. It's a food like certainly fast foods. They put it in where it keeps you addicted.
Yes,
Where you've
yes,
got to
yes,
have more.
yes, yes.
It's a neurotoxin.
Yes,
almost.
neurotoxin.
I-
And for me, the
Except
nitrites,
toxin, yeah.
nitrites and nitrates that are in
Yeah.
food, I just can't even do those.
your blood
Well, we
pressure.
could go on forever.
I know.
Let's go. You got another one, and then I want to do one little wrap up.
Let's go back to the farm and start growing.
Yes.
tell
I don't
you,
know. I
every year.
did 11 pigs this week, and I'm telling you, that is a lot of work. That's a lot of work. We processed 11
our
pigs.
friend-
Yeah, we've got some
friends
friends together, and we did that.
Yeah.
And there's a reason people don't want to work because it's hard, and it's hard.
But
It's really
I
hard.
so appreciate it, darling. Y'all worked really, really
Yeah,
hard.
we're still got a lot left to do.
Well, it's
ongoing.
The food, the quality of the food.
It's
is
you
just-
can't describe it.
compare
You can't tell people.
Yeah.
It's just amazing
Yeah.
the quality of it, the healthiness of it.
I was thanking the Lord the other day. A friend of mine, we were talking back and forth online, and I said I have not bought meat at a store. And this is all glory to God in years
Yeah.
probably, unless it's like shrimp
Thankfully,
or something that
we
can't-
treat ourselves to fish products.
or
Yeah.
crab, that we can't get up here. We could in Georgia, but not down here. Not up here. So, but
Yeah.
I'm just thankful.
Okay. Very good. I'm going to wrap up with one point unless you have any other
No,
questions.
wrap up.
Okay, I'm going to wrap up with this
Oh, yeah.
that we talked about last week. We talked about the higher highs in the silver price, and you can see the price of silver goes up and down as we go along. And this blue line is the mean.
Yeah.
This is the middle of the up and down, higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so we had the nearly $2,800 price in gold, and then we pulled back to that 2565, which was really close to our low from last time, but we still had very, very close a higher low. Now we've started to climb again.
Yeah.
And the trajectory is for it to go up again. But at the same time, the mean is continuing up.
Yeah.
Down here, I've got these red marks. This is time, and it could be a day. Each mark could be a day, or each mark could be a week, whatever you want to do. Could be a month. And eventually, these are going to collide, where the time here in red and the green, the spot price, and the mean are going to meet. But look, it's going to be up here, way above 2,800. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a prediction. I would love to see it before the first of the year, but I'm thinking February, March, we see $3,000 gold. And it's backed up. Now, technicals aren't something that I really like to follow. It's not really something I believe in. It's not something that really convinces me. And maybe it helps to convince you. But it does help me, especially when I look at the political events. I look at the debt. I look at all these different things that are going on. That takes us many, many videos to cover all of them. And I believe that trajectory can be backed up by circumstances and events also.
Right.
Very good.
Lord have mercy.
Well, it's been a good video, fun video.
Good,
We've been
yes.
really busy this morning. Good
Yeah.
questions already this morning.
Yeah,
Thankful for
that's
everybody.
true.
Appreciate you.
Blessings, everybody.
Blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.